Hello. This is a different kind of a video. It's not necessarily a do-it-yourself or sewing tips, although I do have some tips to share with you about saving money when you're wanting to make clothes or costumes. I have been on a sewing marathon for the past 4 days because we have an event happening and a lot of people need to have a costume. And of all the things that I've sewn, costume designing is one of my favorites to do because it's another artistic venue of being creative. And I'm taking old costumes that have gotten worn and torn from use, because I've been very generous by lending out my costumes to different people. But over time, the costumes get messed up, and I have to do some repairs. And sometimes they just need to be modified to work better, to be more flexible. So I'm going to be sharing some of my creations in future videos. I just got back from the Goodwill store, and I went in there with the purpose of I need to find possibly a lady's blouse that's of the right size, that has enough fabric in it that maybe I could modify it into making a Victorian blouse. I found 2 blouses that might be able to work. First, I found this short sleeve blouse that has this kind of see-through like lace here in the panel, and it had just a straight collar, which a lot of Victorian styles have, a high collar. So I thought, okay, but I don't like the short sleeves because Victorians would have sleeves. So while I was there, I happened to notice that they also had some fabric. Actually, not fabric. They had sheets. And so I found a pillowcase with the same coloring, the same feel, fabric. So I bought just a random pillowcase. And with the pillowcase, I can make sleeves. Now, I'll probably use it this way because I want really poofy sleeves. And they'll be short sleeves, and I can add lace on the bottom and a ruffle. So this ordinary shirt that I probably paid $3 for will become a Victorian blouse. I also found this other blouse that it's kind of straight, but I loved the sleeves, this beautiful eyelet sleeves, and I thought, ooh, I could do something with that for sure. I might restyle it and maybe cut the sleeves off and add it to some other fabric. And maybe I could do something with the blouse, but I really don't like the scoop neck here. But what if I fill this with lace or something? I don't know what I'm going to do exactly, but here's another blouse. That's going to save me time. Plus, it's cheap. $3 for $2 or $3 for, actually this one was on sale because it's got the blue tag. And so I got this one for less. I didn't look at my receipt, but I didn't pay very much for this blouse. And so I'm going to modify it and turn it into a Victorian blouse. So there's 2 creations. Sheets really are a great way to get cheap fabric. Since I sew costumes, one of the needs of costumes is having slips. And I would like to sew like bloomers and corsets and undergarments and full slips. And so sheets are easy to come by. If you just call a local hotel, that they periodically will have to change out the sheets because they don't want to keep old sheets. But sheets have a nice fiber. They're a strong fabric. So I love to call hotels, get a bunch of sheets, and keep them because there's so many things you could do with them. I have made blouses, I have made slips, and I will show you some of the things that I've done with them. Oh yes, look at this. Here's a little toddler size pirate shirt. It's got a lace up front. This is made from a sheet So you could do some awesome things with sheets. And sheets are, hey, cat! The cat is always sneaking into my videos. So here's a twin sheet. I picked it up at the thrift store. And while I was looking at the sheets and pillowcases, I said, ooh, look at this. Here's a blue pillowcase. And what I like about it is that it has this awesome embroidery right there. And I thought, oh yeah, I could make a bonnet, and that part with the beautiful embroidery would be this part of the bonnet. So this is going to become a prairie bonnet, this pillowcase. And since I'm getting ready for an old-fashioned day, and I'm making costumes for old-fashioned, somebody asked me about a lace shawl, and I said, oh, all my shawls are loaned out already. But I found this curtain valance. I'm going to restyle it to make a little girl shawl because it's not big enough for a lady. But it will make a cute little shawl for a girl. So another cheap thing, I could take what there is there and turn it into something useful. And, you know, I saw this handkerchief. You can always use handkerchiefs, you know, for scarves, for various purposes, for cowboys or whatnot. Speaking of cowboys, look at this. I got this cheap leather skirt. It's brown leather, and it's sort of in patchwork, and it's very worn and rough. I can make a boy's cowboy vest out of that leather skirt. I mean, leather is expensive. And I found this. Here is a black girl skirt, genuine black leather. I will make a boy's cowboy vest out of that black leather. And then sometimes I just find some random things. Like I saw this table runner, and it's got these gold threads in it. It looks like drapery material, and I thought, ooh, that's kind of pretty. It sort of has a royalty look to it. And I said, you know, I could imagine that. I have this pattern at home. It's Elizabethan era. And I thought, you know, I would like to make something like that. This fabric would actually be nice for the bodice part of the dress. And then I saw this satin sheet with a paisley design on it. And I said, ooh, that would make the blouse, you know, the blouse part, and the two colors would work well together. But of course I'll be mixing other colors with it, like blue. I think blue would be nice with the gold. So that's a future costume for another event. And then I saw a sheet, and I thought of, you know, I have this top that I made. It's a colonial style top. It has gold and blue flowers in it, and I had this interesting trim that I still have a bunch of that trim that I could make a skirt to go with this, because this doesn't have a skirt to match. And it also has green leaves. So I thought, aha, when I saw this green fabric, I said, you know what, this is a sheet. I could probably make a skirt out of this green sheet, and I could probably incorporate some lace and some of this trim onto it so that I have a complete set. So that's a cheap way to make a great costume. I'm trying to outfit 35 people, including myself. And I haven't even got my fabric cut out yet, because I wanted to make something new. I don't like to wear the same outfit every time we have an old-fashioned day. I got all these people to try to dress up, and I really want to get as many people involved as possible. So I was talking with a mom today, and I got something for her to wear, and I'm modifying the skirt so it'll fit her. So I have to take 10 inches off. Sometimes I have to widen the waistband on a skirt to give a little more inches for breathing space. And so I've got all this work to do. And my dress, I haven't even started yet. That has to be cut out because it's new fabric, and it's a particular style, and I was looking for the perfect fabric, so I had to buy the fabric for that one. It only cost me like, I think $35 for that fabric to button to make my dress, but all the other outfits are like so cheap. Not because I'm trying to be cheap with other people, but I'm trying to take a little bit and stretching it as much as I can. So this mom, she's got an outfit, and I've got a plan for her daughter's outfit. I'm actually going to take one of my dresses that I've sewed years ago. It's got short sleeves, and it's got a full skirt. Well, not completely full, but I'm going to size it down to a little girl's prairie skirt, and I'll make a white pinafore out of my sheets, my free sheets. And the dress, I don't fit the dress anymore. Matter of fact, just got a rip in the side. So I couldn't fix it to fit me, and I hate to throw away the fabric. So I have this box of clothes that I just don't want to throw away the clothes. So I can restyle it or reuse the fabric. So that's what I'm going to do with that. Well, they have a little boy, and I got his measurements and size, and so I went to the thrift store, Goodwill store, with the main purpose of finding a boy's dress shirt, which I found. Now it's a couple of sizes. It's a size or too big, but I think we can make it work. We can roll up the sleeves if we have to. I can make the buttonholes a little tighter, and he'll just have blousier sleeves. But we'll make it work. We'll make it work. And I wanted to make him a Victorian boy because it'd be the easiest thing to do. I was thinking of if I could find some little boys' pants of about the right size, that I could cut them into shorts and add like straps, sort of like suspenders. And because I had a little one of those golf hats, that's wool, and it's flat on the top. It's very old-fashioned, and it looks really cute with this outfit. And I told her to have him wear his sister's black tights, and I'll make some shorts. Well, I don't have a lot of time, so this is where this kind of shopping that's really cheap. I went to the thrift store, and I found these two pairs of actually girls' shorts or capris. I guess they're shorts because they're not really long. And this one is cool. Well, I don't like the strap, but you know what? The strap can be the strap over the shoulder. They're too big for the boy, so I'm going to take them apart, and I'm going to size them down to, and I'll actually be able to make two, and I think this is a smaller pair. And I really liked the big wide waistband, but I'm going to restyle it so that I can make those shorts perfect for this boy without having to go through a lot of, buying fabric and pinning the pattern and cutting it out and sewing it. I have a garment that's finished. I'm just going to cut it probably down the sides, and I might sew it up here in the crotch to make it a little smaller, but I'm just going to reformat it into a boy's outfit, and I will show you what the finished product will be, but probably in a different video. So those are some ways that you can get cheap fabric and a few shortcuts, and every once in a while, I'll find random odd things. I like to look for strange, unusual, not your everyday stuff. Well, I found this dress, and I thought, ooh, 1920s. Somebody might want a costume like that, and it's got ruffles all the way down. I didn't have a flapper dress before. Well, I think I have one now. Now I've got two. So I thought, oh, I better snatch that up. And then I found this skirt, which could serve as a slip to add some fullness to a long dress. So those are my finds today. And oh yes, and one more thing. I don't know what it's going to be. It's this gold fabric with this sheer kind of fabric over it, and it's just cool. It's even got some little gold sequins on it. I don't know what it is, but I can almost imagine it as a part of a dress, and this would be like the bodice of the dress, and then I could style it with black or gold, and this would just be the bodice part of it. Or, it could be turned into a purse. Nah, I don't want the purse, but I think I'll probably use it as a costume accessory. Or, I'm not sure that there's enough fabric there for this pillow sham, at first I didn't know what it was. Even the lady at the store, she didn't know what it was, and I looked at it and I said, ah, it's got a zipper in it. Guess what? I'll save that zipper. It could go in a skirt. And then the back, of course, I could use that piece of fabric for something else. But it's just a cool, strange, unusual fabric that I'll make something creative out of it. I might just make a whole outfit with that as the main part. So, those are my collections that I got today. One stop, and it didn't cost me, what did I spend? $50 for all that stuff. Is cheap, really cheap. But I'm going to be able to use it in so many different costumes, and I'll be able to save myself time, save myself money. So remember that about recycling. If you need some fabric, depending on what it is you want to make, go to the secondhand store, go to the thrift store, and see if there's something there that you can restyle. Now, I will be doing a series of videos on very specific projects where I have taken a garment, recycled it, restyled it into something else. And right now my focus is costumes, because that's what I'm doing. And I'm trying to build my closet of costumes because I want to rent costumes out. I have a passion and a love for costumes. So that's what I'm all about right now. I'm on a sewing marathon, and I will be sharing with you some of my website where I don't have all the costumes on my website. I'm still building it. But the website is Art is My Hobby, and if you look in the menu bar, you'll see Costume Closet, and you'll read a little history, and you go to the gallery, and you'll see I've got different categories of types of costumes. They are available for rent. You can see some of the work that I've done. Most of the costumes I have created. Some have been donated to me because people they come to a place, they collector of costumes. Maybe they're involved in dramatic productions and they've collected costumes because they like to act. And then they come to a place where they don't think they'll be doing it anymore, and they know about me because I've always helped provide costumes. So they give me costumes, and sometimes people will just give me fabric and lace and trims. And so it's good for people to know what you can do, because then when they have some stuff and they want to get rid of, you get freebies. So I love those freebies. I've got spools and spools of lace trims that have been given to me because people knew that I sew. And I've been sewing for a long time. Since teenager, actually, is when I started sewing. And I've made just about everything you can think of. From curtains to quilts, clothes for men, babies, children, adults, costumes. I love sewing costumes better than anything else because it's creative, and I don't have to necessarily follow a pattern exactly. Sometimes I create my own stuff. Sometimes I combine patterns and try to create something new. And so keep watching, and you'll see some of my awesome creative Carmona costumes, creative creations. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.